Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Inner Conquest, the world's greatest modern metaphysics channel. My name is Jacob Edens, and today we're going to get your attention back. So when you look at all the different processes with which you can use to quote-unquote manifest or to create different versions of people, places, and circumstances in your life by using your mind, all of those have a common denominator of leveraging your attention, meaning that if you have a physical reality that's not in the way that you want it to be, and then you have an imaginative act that would be more representative of how you want your reality to be, the only thing that would keep that imaginative act from being dominant in your vibration or in your mind is attention. So what happens is our attention is chronically being pulled into all of these different things from an external viewpoint. And what we want to do is we want to have control of that attention, meaning that in our mind, we want to have absolute autonomy and authority over that inner domain, meaning that we want to be able to conjure images in a heartbeat. We want to be able to revise easily. We want to be able to control inner dialogue. We want to be able to manipulate our temporary feeling states, and then we want to sustain those temporary feeling states long enough so that they harden into facts, right? They harden into permanent feeling states, which are permanent states of consciousness within which we dwell. So when we have attention, right, attention is your focus, and focus is really defined. My favorite definition of focus is selective ignorance. So if you have 100 points of data, when you focus on one, are you really focusing on that one, or are you ignoring all of the other things, right? That is very important, because when we look at things and we look at videos that have a lot to do with, 3D circumstances don't matter. It's not that they're not real or that they're not a possibility. It's just that we're ignoring them in favor of our imaginative act, right? So when we have an imaginative act or a wish fulfilled or a scene that implies fulfillment, we want to ignore the things that don't align with that, because they will take our attention away from the end product. So what happens is throughout the day, we have all of these different subroutines, routines that we do that are kind of in our subconscious of, based off of who we are from an identity level, we will execute these things automatically, right? You have your daily habits that you will follow automatically. So when we go and we start to change into a new version of ourselves who is accomplishing things that this current version is not, we want to first understand that all action is really a byproduct of our identity. When we have the correct identity that is really stabilized, that will give us the correct version of ourselves that will take action at the level of that identity, right? Many times we use action to fix something within us that doesn't feel aligned to that ideal identity. That's the whole conversation behind inspired action versus willpower, right? And I still think willpower is a great thing, because willpower is commanding your attention and focusing regardless of circumstance. But when we don't have a good identity that allows us to do something, we generally fight an uphill battle. And that's why subconscious reaffirmation, state priming, and all of these processes prior to execution are important, because if you're not the version of yourself that's going to win, you're the version of yourself that's leaving it up in the air, and the actions and state between those two individuals is going to be different. And then when you look at how manifestation occurs, which is unseen to seen, all manifestation is the byproduct of an occupied state, right? So if you're in a state of poverty and you're trying to get rich, that's a misalignment, because your goal is to be rich and you're embodying the state of poverty while trying to get out of it, which means that every single manifestation is going to come from that state is going to be a poverty one, so you're reacting to it constantly. If you can get yourself in a state of wealth and abundance, what will happen is that will start to produce different opportunities, and then you will take action on those because you're in that state. You're aligned with that version of yourself that's going to get the results that they want, right? So That all begins with awareness, first of all, and then it is attention. So when you have awareness, you're aware of the landscape. You're aware of what is around you. You're aware of the thoughts that are in your head, and you're aware of the feeling states within which you're dwelling. So awareness is the first step, right? And you wouldn't be here if you didn't have an above average awareness. These videos aren't for people who are just getting into this stuff. This is for people who are kind of, aware of the process. They have some basic fundamental understanding, and now they're going more to an application level of starting to use these tools every single day, and not just use them to create results, but to master the processes and master the results. So when you have attention, one of the best exercises you can do is what's called the leaf exercise. And I try to implement this when I'm working out, because it gives me a good space to really focus on what's going on in my mind, right? So if you do something like you're holding a plank and you're working out and you're sitting there like this, right? And you're counting 1, 2, 3, say you're going to 10, you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Replacing that type of counting with a visual apparatus in your mind will give you a routine to really master visualization. And visualization for me was hard in the beginning until I started doing this, because understanding that your mind has 12 distinct qualities that can all be refined and disciplined was huge for me, because as much as I love affirming, visualizing and adding feeling states and adding different elements of reality to it really make it feel real and really hit that benchmark of normalization. Because when you think about things from the past, right, we accept them much easier because they have an element of normalization. And when things feel like they're actually an aspect of reality that's believable, we accept them much easier. So when working out, instead of just going from 1 to 10, the leaf exercise is essentially watching a leaf in your mind go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then when it hits 10, the water ripples from that leaf. What you want to do during that leaf exercise is you want to maintain a clear, coherent picture of what the leaf looks like. You want to feel the wind as it blows back and forth. And then once it hits the water, you want to see the ripples go out. And what that does is it makes you be aware and have your attention on this leaf as it goes back and forth and back and forth. And what you'll find is that at the very beginning of that, you can't visualize a leaf and you will get distracted halfway through it. And that's totally normal. It's not a big deal. So what you want to do is incrementally have a time every single day where you can practice moving that leaf back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and keeping your attention on one thing until the completion of that one thing. What that does is it builds your ability to construct a visual scene in your mind. It gives you the ability to focus at a much higher level. And the more you do it, the more leaf falling back and forth left to right you can do, the longer you can sustain your attention, the easier it's going to be to manifest, right? So when you develop that attention allows you to execute on a couple key disciplines. It allows you to hold feeling states for much, much longer. One of the 12 aspects of mind is the ability to persist until an assumption hardens into fact. So if I have a feeling state that I'm looking to change, say I'm going from poverty to wealth, if I'm chronically dwelling in that poverty state, I'm fucked. There's nothing I can do. That state's going to keep expressing itself. My life's going to suck. So I have to change that state to a wealth and abundance state. How does that feel? Feels like I have options. Feels like I can breathe. Feels like I have money coming in all the time. Feels like I have a huge fucking bank account. Whatever, right? You get to decide how that feels. But if you don't like your state, you got to pick a new state and you got to decide how you want to feel in it. And you got to rehearse it over and over and over and over again until it feels normal. The fastest way to make that state normalized is to dwell in it all the fucking time. So how do you dwell in it all the time? Well, you make it to where it's easy to dwell in it all the time. If I do 10 push-ups, and I've never done push-ups before, those 10 push-ups are going to be pretty hard. But if I do 10 push-ups every single day for a year, they're going to be nothing to me. It's not even an issue. ever again for the rest of your life. You do 10 push-ups a day for a year, you could probably wait 3 years and do 10 push-ups again. You've built the muscle memory of how to do that. You have the limitation removed and the perspective removed that is a hard thing to do. You've totally changed how you view that aspect and what your capability is in regards to that physical activity. Same thing goes for mental. So if every single day I just do 10 back and forth leaves every single day, the next day I go, I could probably do 11. I do 11 every single day. I could probably do 12. Before you know it, you're hitting 50 to 100 of those things very, very easy. Now, when you hit 50 to 100, remember, holding a thought in your mind for 17 seconds activates law of attraction, meaning that if I hold a thought dominantly for 17 seconds, another thought comes and couples with it. Now, if I can do that sequentially for as little as 4 increments of 17 seconds, that will produce an external result in my physical reality. It's not going to be the full manifestation, but that is enough time and bandwidth to ensure that I will tangibly experience a different external event in my reality. That's huge because 17 seconds is not that long. And 17 seconds is 2 levels of 10 little leaves going back and forth. So if I can get to 20, I can hit that benchmark of 17 seconds 100% of the time. What this allows you to do, every single time you want to change something, right? So say you have an SP and you want to have them ask you to go to dinner or something like that, right? So now you have a text. You construct a visual scene of them sending you a certain text saying, hey, let's go out tonight, right? Whatever the end outcome is. What I would do is I would have it to where my passcode is, I hit the 6 numbers or whatever. Look at the thing. Look at the thing. Look at the text. Look at the text in my mind. And I'm doing that in the same pattern that I would do for 1 leaf rotation. So what this does is it provides a tangible, logical structure to your visualization, because oftentimes it's not that people aren't disciplined with their visualization. It's that they don't have a easy to control structure. It's like playing a game and it's like, hey, how do you win the game? Fucking just win the game. It's like, no, score this many points and you win. Okay, now I know what to do. Okay, now I can focus on scoring that many points. You're looking to get to 20 leaves because that activates the first echelon of law of attraction to bring you a secondary thought. The second phase of victory and conquest is you want to be able to do that for about 4 segments, meaning that if I do 20 leaves back and forth, boom, I hit 1 benchmark. 20 leaves back and forth, boom, I hit a second benchmark. 20 leaves back and forth, boom, I hit a benchmark. 20 leaves back and forth, boom, I hit a benchmark. That's 4 echelons of attraction that is pulled into your focus and now has enough power to, once again, not the full thing, but you will see a tangible result in your reality if you can sustain your attention for that long. So what this does is it allows you to replace that leaf with literally anything you want. You could do phone screen text. You could also do payment received. Payment received. Payment received. Payment received. How does it feel? What's the sound when the little payment thing goes off? Ding! Ding! Payment received. So you start to really refine your attention span so that when you focus on something, the average of your attention isn't just like you have ADHD all the time where you're like, YouTube short. It's everything you focus on, you're going to hit that 17 benchmark thing, and that gives you not only enough time to produce external results, it also gives you enough time to modify what you're looking at instead of just reacting to it all the time. You have the ability to control and manipulate your imagination because you're adding in all these extrasensory things. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys have any other problems or concerns with reality creation or metaphysics in general, leave those in the comments. I'm happy to answer questions in there as well as make videos off of those topics. If you want personalized support and you are looking to shift something specific that's been bugging you for a while, maybe it's like a little bit harder and you're watching a lot of videos but just haven't had a lot of success with it, look at the link tree below. There's coaching options for emails, calls, and texts with me as well. So if you want some limited time support with me one-on-one, it's a great option to do so. Additionally, all calls come with 2 emails. I don't know if that's updated on there, but it's a good thing to know. Other than that, more important than everything else, go conquer.